Hey guys, Kurt here, the Pontiac Podcast, coming to you live once again from this beautiful concourse room in Loveland, Ohio at the 2026 GTOAA National Convention. I'm standing here with Mickey Gregory. Now, Mickey has a very special car right behind us. He is the original owner of this 1965 GTO. He's in this honored row of 6 cars we have in here, all original owners. Mickey, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
Good. Why don't you tell me a little bit about this beautiful machine?
Well, I'll give you a little history. Out of high school, I went to an electronics BOTEC, basically, and graduated from that after 18 months. I went to work for a telephone company, Bell Telephone, basically, and I was making $207 an hour in 1965. And I had seen a 64 race a Edsel with a 427 or something like that. We had a little country drag strip on a paved road outside of town that people would do drag racing on Friday and Saturday night unofficially, and kind of partly against the law, I guess, too. But I've seen this 64 just blow that Edsel away, and we have a history in my family of Pontiacs. My dad had a 51 Pontiac, straight 8, and others over the years, and I was just taken with the GTO. That was a new brand in 64, more or less, and I wanted one. So I went to work for the telephone company, and I was still living at home single. I was 19 years old, thought I was rich, and I purchased this car. I ordered it. It's Capri Gold is the correct color name on it, and he's already taken a picture of the bill of sale, basically. And
yeah. Well, I just love this color. I was telling you when I walked up to it that this car drew me like a moth to a flame because of the color combination. The Capri Gold with the parchment interior is kind of rare. Is that something you wanted? That was the parchment over black?
I saw a picture, advertising picture of it. It didn't. The picture was a little darker gold, I thought, than it came when it came. I was slightly disappointed that it wasn't more gold, but at the same time, I've been happy with the car. About 7 years ago, we had it in storage actually for about 40 years, and I had an Air Force career and all of that, and so my wife, about 2017, I'm sorry, suggested that I needed to get the car out of storage and do something with it. At that time, my son was about 48 years old, and I called him up and asked him, and I said, if you're going to get rid of that car after I'm gone, I might as well sell it and be done with it. He said, oh, no, don't do that. So I got it out of storage, had it redone from the ground up. Everything I could do to it to make it nice and clean, and interior, exterior, motor job. And I added the front disc power brakes when I rebuilt it, and added the air conditioning only a few months ago. And those are the only really major changes. Everything else is stock, just like it was from the factory. Had the interior redone through OPG, and
the disc brakes. I remember I went from a four-wheel drum brake car on my 66 to disc brakes. Made a huge.
Oh yes, I had a couple of fender benders early on.
Yeah.
When I picked the car up at the dealership, I had never driven anything with a high-power motor or anything like that. I had a 54 Chevy, beautiful little car, white over red, and red interior that I traded in on this car. And I still wish I had that one, but I almost lost this car driving it off the new car lot because I was used to putting my foot to the floor. That little Chevy had no power.
Yeah.
And I didn't do a donut, but I came close. And
so walk me through that. You pull out of the parking lot, you stomp the gas, and she just starts walking on you?
Not quite.
Okay.
But it was even before I got out of the parking lot. When I cranked it up and started off, it was more power, like I said.
Big difference.
I don't remember anybody ever talking about test driving cars back then. There may have been some older people that did or something, but I didn't. I'll put it that way.
65 was, I think, the first year maybe they used a tiger in the commercial. That whole the slogan. Put a tiger in your
And
tank or a tiger under your hood.
my wife and I had our first date in this car, and we've celebrated 57 years of marriage in June of this year.
Let's back up just a second. First of all, I want to say thank you for your service. You said you were in the Air Force.
Yes.
How long are you in?
20 years.
20 years. And of course, you said sat in storage while you were off.
Basically, yes.
Okay. What Pontiac dealership did it come from?
Piedmont, Alabama. Little Motor Company.
Okay.
Mr. Ed Little, I knew him personally.
$3,436 or $38.07
Yep.
out the door.
With the GTO package of costing,
$295.90 for an option.
I don't know if you probably know the history, because John DeLorean, this was an illegal car. John DeLorean was he was an engineer, of course, or head of Pontiac division. On a Sunday morning in literally 64, they had a 64 up on the rack, and the engineers told him, says the motor mounts for the 389 and the 326 that they were putting in those were identical the same, and DeLorean told him to do it. Well, that violated a rule from General Motors of 1 horsepower per 10 pounds of weight. That exceeded that rule. And I ordered the car as a GTO, but it says Le Mans at the top. And then they got away with that by hiding it here in the options.
By making an option, yep.
And then, of course, they started selling like hotcakes, and everybody, I think, kind of forgot that rule, because all the other Oldsmobile and all that.
And I bet there's a lot of people out there flocking to the Pontiac dealership because, very similar to you, they saw one on the street one night, dust another car. I'm like, oh, I need to go get me a GTO.
Yep.
Oh man, this thing is just, it's a beautiful car. It's a 4-speed car, right?
Yep, 4-speed.
Yep. And have you had any, I don't know, trips down any back road streets to let her loose at all since you had her?
Oh yeah, being 19, young and dumb, I guess. The register's 120 over here, about 4:30 or whatever.
Yeah.
I had it straight down one time.
Ooh.
And I don't know how fast we were going. It passed the speedometer.
Buried the needle.
Yep. But I've never had it flat out all the way wide open.
Yeah.
We were on a country road. It's paved, but it felt like it wanted to lift off almost. And I thought, this is too much.
Well, you mentioned in 2017 when you took it out of storage, because your wife's like, we got to do something with it, that maybe for a fleeting moment, the idea of selling it came across your mind. Was that the only time you thought about selling it?
Yes.
Okay. What made you keep it all this time?
I can't really say. I loved the car. Like I said, I ordered it, and we had our first date in it, and it's the car we had when we got married, and kept it for several years. And then I got in the Air Force, and there's another story behind that, but we traveled quite a bit with the Air Force, and I was fortunate enough I could store it at home, at my parents' house. And then after I got to Rapid City, I moved it up there and had a 3-car garage that I could put it in there and keep it in storage for roughly 40 years.
Yep. So it went from Alabama to where you are now in South Dakota. What took you to South Dakota? Was it
Air Force?
Just Air Force?
Yeah.
And where'd you meet your wife?
Piedmont, Alabama.
Okay.
Hometown.
All right. High school sweethearts?
Yeah, more or less. I was already out of high school. She was still in.
Okay. And you said you mentioned a son. How many children do you have?
A son and a daughter.
Okay. Any family trips in this car?
Not really.
Not really. Once the kids came, we were going to keep this thing looking pristine, and got a family car to put all the spilled milk and juice in, right?
Yep.
So I know you said you took your wife on your first date in this car. Any other special memories in this car?
Well, I proposed to her in this car.
You proposed to her in the car?
Yep, sure did.
And I guess she said yes.
Yeah.
Thank goodness,
yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And I just think that it's so fascinating that, because life's not all sunshine and rainbows, and there's ups and downs to everything. And the number of people that have to sell a car to get out of some sort of financial trouble, and being lucky enough to be able to keep it at your parents' house and hold on to it all these years to
Yep.
become part of this exclusive club
Well,
is
this was, of course, mid '60s, and the Vietnam War was going on. And day after we got married, I received a 1A classification for the draft board. So then that summer, '69, we got married in '69, and I went to work for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service for a summer job. I graduated in December of '69 from college, but that summer I had to go for a draft board physical, and then I actually got drafted. I went to my draft board and told them I'm going to graduate in December. You'll please let me graduate, and I'll be happy. They says, okay, you're up for the first call in January. Well, that fall of '69, well, I'll back up a little bit. I went to the Air Force recruiter right after they told me I was up for the first call in January. I went down to the Air Force recruiter and signed up in their delayed enlistment program, they called it. And that fall, they had the first draft lottery. They scrambled all the dates of the year, and then they started picking dates out as to the process of getting drafted. My birthday was number one. Only lottery I ever won was the draft lottery. So I knew I was military bound somehow or other.
Yeah.
I graduated from college in '69, December '69, went into the Air Force in February of '70, and stayed till March of 1970 to 1990.
Okay. Put in your 20 years.
Yep.
And we appreciate all the people out there like you. Is this your first GTOAA convention?
Yes, it is.
So how have you seen the GTO hobby change over the years from the time it was brand new? Because you kind of have that unique perspective of you seen it when they first came out in '64 as the hot car. Here we are in 2026, and people are still flocking to these shows and showing. How have you seen it change over the years?
Well, the car's changed, and I have a couple of books. Jim Wanger's book, I have his book, and with the change in management and all that, and the demise of the whole Pontiac division is kind of sad, in my opinion. We had like I said, our family history was Pontiacs. My dad had several Pontiacs over the years, and it wasn't the most expensive car, but it was, I thought, one of the better looking cars through history.
What's one car that your dad had that was a Pontiac that stood out to you that kind of like, man,
He had a brand new 1951 Pontiac.
Okay.
And then after that, he had a '59, I think it was, and a few more after that. I kind of lost count because I was not home anymore.
Yeah.
And but I had other Pontiacs down the road. Had a '70 Le Mans. After I put this one in storage and joined the Air Force, I had a little more money and needed a family car, and had a '70 Le Mans Sport. Still wish I had that one too. But then we had the four-doored, I don't even remember exactly the titles of some of those, but Pontiacs, family cars. So I always thought the '65 was the more classic. They went to what they call a Coke bottle now, or the later ones,
Yeah.
'66 and on. And '64 was different. It was different. Of course, now today you can't tell a Toyota from a Chevrolet to anything. They're all the same.
Right.
And cars back then, you could tell. I mean, even just as a child, I started. I don't know why, but I could name back to about 1950. I could name you almost any car through the '50s and the '60s. You can see it going down the road. That's a Ford. That's a Chevy. That's whatever.
And not just the manufacturers. I'm amazed. I've got two kids, and then Eric's younger brothers are here, and these are kids that don't have driver's licenses yet, and they're walking around the show and they're telling, that's a '65, that's a '70, that's a '67, and they're going through naming the years because they were all styled with little intricate cues as to the different year. And so we were driving down the road and they'll ask me, what year is that car? I'm like, I don't know, it's 2000 something. I said, but they don't change
No.
the little things to it. These were art.
Yep.
And
Sure were.
and that's something that we hope we get enough people involved in the classic car hobby that we can keep and just maintain these cars out there for people to see for years to come.
Yep. Yeah, my son will inherit this one. I have a son and a daughter, but my son-in-law and son are here with us.
Okay. Are they are they local to you in South Dakota?
One, my son-in-law and daughter are, but my son lives in Idaho.
Okay. All right.
And I've got 8 grandchildren, so it'll get to one of them. 3 boys. My son has 3 boys. So.
Have you taken the grandkids out for ice cream in it or anything?
A couple of them, yes.
Yeah. That's kind of our go-to with my car too. It's like you get to a point where there's so much traffic out there that you hate to just get out and just drive it any day. But those special little moments, and it means that much more because you don't take it out often.
Yep.
Throw the kids in the car. Let's go get ice cream.
We're only about 350 miles north here in Rapid City, South Dakota, where I live. And I didn't want to drive it down here on the roads with the rock dings and all that. So I literally bought a new trailer to trailer this down here. So that's how much it means to me.
You said you just kind of finished. Is this the first show it's been to since you have it totally restored?
No, I got it the day before we had our 50th wedding anniversary.
Okay.
7 years ago. That was when I picked it up from having it restored. And I've had it out in the area around Rapid City. I've had it several.
Okay. So you're getting your use out of it.
Yeah, I got, it was a very narrow category from about 60 to 65 or so that I won first place in that division with this car.
I can see why. Did a beautiful job. Now, who did the restoration for you?
Bill Young in Rapid City basically did the most of it, and he did the paint job. He installed the motor, and there's a race shop, Whipple Motors. They started the engine and tuned it all up and all that. And my wife saw it when it was torn all apart.
Yeah.
And she didn't think it'd ever come back together because it was in 2 or 3 different locations.
Yeah.
We had it sandblasted at one place, and they brought it back to had it all started assembling, and the motor was at a different place, all of that. So.
And I know my dad names all of his cars, so it's kind of passed down on me. Every car I have has a name. Does this car have a name?
No, I never did that.
All right. Well, I appreciate you giving us behind this car. Like I said, it was when I first came in. This was one of the first cars, and there's all these beautiful cars just drawn to the color combination, just a little bit different.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It does have a metal flake in the clear coat that you really can't see in here. If you get close and look at it close, you can see it a little bit. But if you get outside with the sunshine, it really pops.
It really pops. Yep. In 65, they had Capri Gold. They also had Tiger Gold. I think those might be the only 2 gold options in 65. And they were vastly different colors of gold.
Yep.
And this one, you don't see Capri Gold much.
Nope. Don't see it.
So, well, is there anything else you want to share about the car before we end this?
No, but it's a great car. This one has over 200,000 miles on it.
Okay.
And I put a lot of miles on it. And my dad actually rebuilt the motor once at about 100,000 miles on it, and put another 100,000 miles on it, and put it in storage. And of course, I had it rebuilt when I had it all done.
Yeah. Well, I just your foresight to hang on to this amazed me. I'm so glad that you kept it to become part of your family. And it sounds like your son is in position to take good care of it. And with the grandkids, she's going to be loved for a long time.
Well, the total price was $3,400, and it costs more to just have the engine rebuilt than the whole price of the car. Of course, that was 60 years ago, 60 plus years ago.
Yeah. And the engines are just put back together stock, rebuilt stock?
Yep.
Okay.
389 stock, no changes.
All right.
I like it stock. I don't do the monkeying around with any of the changing the cams and all that. That's not me.
Yeah, it was beautiful enough off the factory assembly line, just like this, and
Yep.
we'll keep it just like that.
Absolutely.
All right. If you could go back and buy this car all over again, would you make any changes to it when you ordered it?
Yeah, I'd put air conditioning on
from the beginning.
Because we were in Alabama and never had a car with air conditioning. Didn't have a house with air conditioning at that time, and didn't think about it really. And but I'd add the air conditioning, and I think power brakes were available then, but I had the attitude I didn't want anything to take any power away from the motor. I wanted it a hot car with the power that it had, and at that time it was one of the hottest. So
Yeah, absolutely. Just one final question. Since this is your first GTO convention, what's been your favorite part so far being here in Levelland with all the other GTOs around?
Oh, just seeing the cars and meeting the people.
Yeah, hearing the stories, right?
Yep.
So we appreciate your story.
Oh,
and thanks again for your service.
Thank you.
You've got a beautiful car.
Thank you very much.
Until next time, guys, keep those Pontiac.
Garage door shuts, engines rest. Next episode, man, it'll be the best.